I hope y'all are doing well today. Thanks for watching my video. By now, you have read Casey at the Bat, and you also took a look at my previous slide that said what Casey suffered from was an excessive hubris. That's a word for a really big ego, very arrogant, very overconfident, and it ended up costing him in the end. And so, what I've directed you to do is to write your own poem that closely matches the rhythm and rhyme of Casey at the Bat, and also inject that theme of hubris into your poem. Now, your speaker doesn't have to get theirs in the end like Casey did, but I still want that theme there. I want your speaker to be very arrogant, and I want your poem to match the rhyme structure and the rhythm as close as you can get. So here I've got, let me make it bigger for you. I've got the first stanza of the poem, and let me just read it out loud. And when I read it out loud, I'm going to exaggerate the stressed and unstressed syllables a little bit so you can really hear the rhythm. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. Okay, this is definitely not free verse. There is a lot of rhythm and there's definitely a rhyming pattern. You can see here that I have highlighted the last words of each line of the first stanza. The first two rhyme and the second two rhyme, and every stanza in the poem is 4 lines long, and every one of them follows this rhythm and rhyming pattern. So let's start with the rhyming pattern. Do you remember how you note this? Yes, with letters. So this poem has an A-A-B-B rhyming pattern, and that carries throughout the poem. So I want your poem that you write, your hubris poem, to at least have 2 stanzas, each 4 lines long, following the A-A-B-B rhyming pattern. Now, rhythm is where I'm going to give you some wiggle room because, hey, it's poetry. A poem might have rules, but poems break their own rules all the time. Or maybe they don't break them by busting through them, but maybe they just kind of, it's more of a guideline. I'm just going to do what I want a little bit right here. Okay, so this poem, is written in Iambic heptameter. What is that? Well, Iambic is a rhyming pattern when you have an unstressed, and oftentimes that'll be like a little U above the syllable, followed by a stressed syllable. So an Iambic poem is going to be da-da, 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 da-da. Okay, and you can see that this poem has that. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. Iambic, right? Okay, so unstressed followed by stressed. How do you know if a syllable is stressed or not? Well, stressed syllables are usually louder, they're longer. Computer, that middle syllable is the stressed one. You kind of hold them longer than you do the other syllables in the word. And your mouth moves more when you say them too. Try putting your hands on your cheeks and talking. So I just said the word talking, and my mouth moved more when I said talk. So I know talking is a stressed followed by an unstressed syllable. Try this with a few words. See if you can identify the stressed and unstressed syllables in some common words or in your name or in funny words. I'll leave it up to you. But just so that you know, this poem does need to be written in the iambic rhythm. Okay. Heptameter, that's a little bit more difficult. And actually with my example, I struggled a little bit with that as well. It was hard to make it fit. And if you really want a challenge, make it heptameter. Okay, that means that there's 7 feet per line. Well, what is a foot in a line of poetry? A foot is a set of syllables that has 1 stressed syllable and then 1 or more unstressed syllables. I won't get into all the different kinds of rhythms going on. We're just talking about iambic. So iambic is 1 unstressed and 1 stressed. So that's a foot in a line. Heptameter means 7. Hept, that root word right there is 7. So iambic heptameter means that it's written in iambic and there's 7 iambic feet per line. So let's count. You can see here these black lines, that's me separating the feet because I've got one unstressed and one stressed. So let's count them. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville 9 that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. If you look at the poem, it follows this really closely throughout the whole thing. So why don't you give yourself a challenge and write your Hubris poem in AABB Iambic Heptameter. Okay, this next slide, here's mine. You can see on the first stanza, I highlighted the last word of each line. So you can see, yes, see, me, sun, fun. This is written in AABB rhyme pattern. And now let's look at my syllables. You can see I've marked it for you up here. Unstressed followed by stressed. The sun was shining on the day I swam in the blue sea. The wind was blowing strongly, but that didn't bother me. And then you've got the rest of my poem. I'm not going to read it all out loud, but my speaker decides to go swimming and a storm comes and she's like, I don't care. And then, oops, it's a hurricane. I hope you like it, and I can't wait to read yours. Please watch this video again if you need any more clarification on what writing a poem in iambic heptameter looks like.